Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us here today on this wonderful, wonderful occasion for the city of York and also for some individuals and their families. I want to start off first by thanking the families because while we know that your loved ones are coming here and every day they're here to serve us, to help protect us, we also know that at home you're worried about them. And so I want to promise you that we will do everything that we can to take care of them, make sure they get the absolute best training, have the absolute best partners, have the absolute best boss we can find, and make sure that we care about your loved ones maybe as best we can, as much as you do. So we will do everything, and we thank you for your sacrifice, because it's not just them, it's all of you. With that, welcome, and I will turn it over to Commissioner Muldrow, and again, thank you all for being here today.
All right, so we have a lot of ground to cover, a lot of names to get through. I apologize in advance because I'm going to do my best to try to get through this without being emotional, but I'm apologizing right now because there's so many people and so many stories in this today that if I do get emotional, it's okay. And I'm just happy to, as I look around this room, and I see the faces, I see the newbies, the incumbent, and then I see all of our officers in the back. I'm proud of this. I don't know if you all just stopped and looked around to take a look at this, because Lentz, Aki, almost 3 years now, because this is year 3 for me now, man. We stood in this same place for a ceremony, and it was almost a ghost town. If you remember that award ceremony that year. And I look at this same room now, it's befitting to be in this same space, standing here as a representation of the York City Police Department, and see this level of life and activity and caring and love in the place in relation to this patch in this department. And I am beyond proud. So I'm just proud of the department, the work that's being done, the transformation that's happened. And it's funny because, and Mike Davis can tell you that I'm not making this up just because it was a really cool story to tell, but I got stopped right before I came here today. And I got stopped by a woman, a lady who wasn't an original Yorker. So she's gonna fit a lot of categories. She wasn't an original Yorker. She came here years ago. She lives here now, and she is also a 16-year employee of city government. And she stopped me, unbeknownst to where I was going to, where I was heading, to let me know that she wanted me to tell our officers, wanted me to tell the guys, men and women, that she has been around here to see a lot of administrations come and go. She's been around here to see the police department for a long time and experience us providing service in her community and how the community feels about this department. And she wanted us to know that she sees something different in each and every one of you. She said that she sees the difference in your faces. She sees the difference in how you work, what you're doing, the smiles. Like she sees something different in our uniform and in our patch. And I got choked up. And the funny part was I was planning to try to make it here to deal with getting choked up, and I got choked up before I got here. And the reason why I tell that story, one, because of all you in the back, because you're the ones that are doing it, not me. And I tell that story to you all for the people in the front, because that's the standard that we need you to meet. That's the expectation that we have for you. That's the goal that we want you to set for yourself, to continue to take that bar and what these men and women in the back are doing and take it to the next level, because obviously the enforcement piece is there, contrary to what some people may imagine, we're locking a lot of people up. Bad things are happening in the community, but we're locking a lot of people up. There's a lot of things being stopped. There's a lot of people that otherwise wouldn't be held accountable that are being held accountable because of the work that you're doing. But you're also doing it remembering to put people first. You're doing it taking the time to let people get to know Tim and not just Clymer. Letting them get to know Reinert and Victory, Mike and not just Meeker, Matt and not just Irvin. So you're being exceptional and you're remembering your humanity. And that's what we need you guys to do. Remember that part. You're going to become Officer Baez, but don't forget Victoria. So, sorry. You guys know from yesterday, I'll get preachy in a minute. So anyway, thank you all for coming, friends and families. At this point, we're going to dive into this moment, talk about these young people, and talk about their stories, because the stories, the relationships, the connections are fairy tale-like. You're not going to believe some of the things that brought these individuals here today. So, first off, and right off the bat, Lance, you had to line them up like this. Right off, we would like to talk about and call up momentarily Chad Hines. Chad Hines comes to us, interestingly enough, he'll be part of the second spouse, husband and wife tag team working here in the department right now, because his wife is already here doing it each and every day. He is also the son of, if you're an old head in law enforcement like me, one of our legends, Pat Hines from West Manchester Township. And for some of us, I remember when we were just starting our career off, and I told this story to little Hines yesterday. For some of us, when we were starting our career off, we remembered watching a man do the unthinkable from a professional standpoint. He went to a call like we all go to these calls, and in that, he found himself faced with what none of us want to be faced with, and dealing with an on-duty in the line of duty shooting. And I remember when Officer Hines was shot, and I remember everything that happened subsequently after. And I remember a lot of us as young officers thinking that we couldn't imagine what he had been through, but as if that wasn't enough, I remember watching and listening to my dad and hearing the work that he put into the rehab to not only deal with being shot, but make it through being shot and come back to work. So when I think about that, and I think about the fact that your family and your sons, as the son of a police officer, when I think about what it must have felt like to watch your dad get shot and come back to work after being shot, to watch that and then decide I'm going to fill out paperwork, take a test, raise my hand, and be willing to do the same thing. As a second generation officer, it's improbable, it's an imaginable thought to me. I commend you like I did yesterday. I don't know how you did it. I'm not sure I could have done it had my dad lived through, worked through, and get through what yours got through. All to be here today, ready to raise your hand and wear this uniform and say, I'm going to go get in that fight too. So We are proud of you. I thank you. And come on up here and shake this man's hand and get your badge. We'll do it afterwards. Stand up here with us, though. Next, we want to talk about Nelson Reyes. Coming to us from New York City. Military vet, service at the York County Sheriff's Office for the past 2 years, and continuing to give your life to wanting to defend people, and now come and do it in a community that you didn't know from Adam, and want to do that in this way and want to come serve. We're excited to have you come on, and we're looking forward to seeing what you're going to bring to the table, and welcome to the family. Nelson Reyes, come on up. I know I'm supposed to wait till badges get handed out and stuff, but I'm going to be me. Next, we want to talk about Jose Espinosa, another individual coming to us from New York City. He is part of a bit of a trend, as I'm proud to say, and again, it's the work that you all do, that individuals continue to see what we're doing and how we're doing it as a department and decide that they want to be part of that and the way we're doing it. And Jose Espinosa is another one of the individuals who was already in the career, already in the field, already serving as a police officer, who decided that he wanted to come here and serve this community and work and do this job the way you guys all do it. So I'm proud of that. And I'd like to call up next Jose Espinosa. Don't worry, Lance, I'm going to get this right. I have a note to myself. Next, we're going to talk about Stephen Cugini. You see that? I practiced it this morning. Stephen is actually one of two individuals today that has been serving the community and serving and working in public service prior to coming on with us, prior to deciding to take our test and commit to this pursuit. He was a 911 dispatcher here in York County, dealing with the pressures, the unthinkable pressures and the stress of that. My heart goes out to both of y'all with that, because I know what you had been going through. So coming to us as a 911 from the 911 dispatch center, we appreciate you. You understand what we're dealing with. You understand the things that we're dealing with, despite what the world may think of us and the community may think at times. You hear it, you've seen it, and to hear it, watch it, see it, and decide to come and be a part of this and do it anyway, I'm excited about that, and I'm looking forward to your future. And the rugby thing, the former rugby player part is just so interesting. So with that, I would like to call up, and I'm excited to introduce for the first time, Stephen Cugini. Now we're hitting back into some of these family sections. So next, we're gonna talk a little bit about Toby Koenig. Brother Toby joins a long list of individuals who are joining the York City Police Department as siblings. He is the brother of one of our very own, Officer Nostine, and I want you to know that nobody could have pushed harder than your brother did, and nobody could be more excited than your brother is for you. So he is joined today, I apologize, by his girlfriend Megan Lawson, his sister-in-law Kelsey Nostine, his mother Joanne Koenig, and his father Chuck Koenig. He also is joining us transitioning over from one of our key strategic partners at York Hospital with the safety team. So with that being said, Brother Toby, if you can come up and join us for the first time. The next young man that joins our team is a local guy, originally from Harrisburg, family. He worked as a supervisor at the York County Sheriff's Department, and we're proud of this, is only the second officer of Asian and American descent to be on our force, to my knowledge. He is joined by his girlfriend, Catherine, his father, Lee, his sister, Amanda, his mother, DM, and his aunt, Amy. Tony Tran, please come up and join us. Oh, yeah, our space is, well, you can come here. I promise I smell good. Next, Isaac Kissinger. He comes to us as, and you'll enjoy this, Mayor Halfrick, an extremely scholarly young man with not one but 2 bachelor's degrees under his belt already, and he's finishing up his master's. Additionally, he has worked at the Dauphin County Sheriff's Department and the York County Sheriff's Office. He's joined today by his mother, Lisa, his stepfather, Brian. Now, I didn't practice this. Bose. Okay. So, with that said, he hails from Sunbury, PA, which I actually know where it's at, home of Wise Markets. I don't know why I know that, but and I'm excited to introduce for the first time and ask you to come up here, Isaac Kissinger, and join our family. Next, we have Joseph Papale. Yeah? Okay. You see the bated breath. I was holding it like, did I get that out right out loud? Comes to us as yet another candidate from New York, prior military, bilingual, and from another officer, again, from an excellent pedigree as yet another second-generation officer with his mother having worked in NYPD and served during 9/11. Thank you for your service. He's joined today by his wife, Deanna, and his mother, Officer Marte Gonzalez. Officer Papale, please come up and join the family. Keeping the theme of a family affair going, for anybody that would contend that what we're building here isn't something special, I think this story will do more to combat that than anything I could possibly say. So, Tyler Harris actually is joining us in a very interesting capacity. So, I am so proud of us as a department and the work that's happening here and what's being created in this space. because it's evidenced in the fact that his father, Michael Harris, who has been serving our department faithfully for years, was my best recruitment tool, as he thankfully went home and in the conversations obviously had good things to say about the people that worked here and the job that is the York City Police Department, as his son Jacob followed in his footsteps, coming to serve in the New York City Police Department. Now it's when it sounds like an infomercial. But wait, as if that wasn't enough, Jacob continued to come here, thrive, do his thing, and tell the story of working in the New York City Police Department, which led to us getting the second son, Tyler Harris. Now, we spent some time looking into this because we've had a lot of brothers that have worked here together. We've had multiple husband and wives that have worked here together. And obviously, we've had several sets of fathers and sons, me being one of them, that have worked here. But we were thinking that this was going to be the first time we ever had a father and two sons. Thankfully, I have Captain Akey, who is a bit of a historian, who was able to do the research and find that in the 60s, it actually occurred one previous time through the hoses. So this is the second time that it's actually occurred, but we are excited to have it. And in recent memory, we've never seen it before. So Tyler Harris, come on up and join the family. As a hometown kid that's wearing a uniform and serving in the department in the place that I grew up, I'm excited to tell you a little bit about the next individual who is also a hometown kid, Seth Grove. He is joined today by his girlfriend, Kalacia Jamison, his daughter, Aliana Grove, his son, Emerson Hunt, his uncle, Sean Jamison, and his friend, Big Tim Irizarry, who was, unbeknownst to you, an advocate on your behalf, and never went without an opportunity to let me know that you would find a candidate you would be working here in our department. So we are excited at what you bring as a local product, as a community asset. And Seth Grove, can you officially come up and join the family? For the people that know me, they know I've been through a lot of changes and in my professional career, ups, downs, good, bad, and indifferent. One of those stages and phases of life, I had the opportunity to be partnered with two people. Captain Leitzel, who is away right now, and Detective Commander Andy Baez. When we were paired together a lot like Nasteen and your crew. We were paired together on a street crime unit. And when you work in that close quarters capacity on a daily basis with individuals that tight knit, you develop, it blurs the lines and you develop into something different and you become family. And part of being with Andy Baez and becoming family, he opened the door to me to become family with his family. And so many years ago, which is hard to imagine because I don't feel like I'm this old, but so many years ago, one of those afternoons, we were out doing our thing, and Andy wanted to stop by his brother and sister's house and just check on them and go over and get food or whatever we did, or pop in, because like times we checked on his mom and everything else. And I remember one of those times, on one of those occasions, was actually the first time that I met two sweet little kids. One was a sweet little boy with a big smile. The other one was a beautiful little girl. And again, different stages, phases, and different times being around his brother, being around Andy's, you guys' mom, and everything else. I never forgot that sweet little boy and that beautiful little girl. And flash forward, it was a lot for me, and I'm thankful to be part of one, seeing that little boy grow up into a man and be able to work with him and watch him as the FBI knocked on his door and said, "We want you," and be part of that transition and that change that led to us losing David. And then now, and I thank you, Mayor Helfrich, being able to have the opportunity to come back to be in a position to see that second little kid grow up and become a beautiful grown woman who is now also coming here to wear this uniform and wear this badge and follow in his uncle's footsteps, her uncle's footsteps, and pick up the mantle that little David left behind. I can't get anything more out about Victoria. You've already been part of the family, but now let's make it official. Miss Victoria Baez, if you'll please come up here and join us. Shake it off. I'm sorry. Victoria is joined by all the Baezes. Yes, and her aunt Melissa Hill, because I'll get in trouble tonight when I go home. Last but definitely not least, and I saved a couple minutes for this because I got a lot to read. And I'm not even going to get into the stuff on the script. I'm going to get into all the other stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about Amber Kessler. Amber also comes to us from the Sheriff's Department. She is a superb athlete, national level competitive field hockey, currently personal trainer. It's funny because your whole entire process, I was calling you the CrossFit lady. Before I got to learn your name, I was calling you the CrossFit lady. So, personal trainer, fitness, physical fitness. Kessler has the distinction of being the first female to make it through the ultra grueling physical process to serve on the York County SWAT team. Period. With that, we are excited to bring her on, excited to make her part of the York City Police Department, and I'm going to say it in front of this group, I do expect you to win the PT award at the Academy. Amber Kessler, who is joined by her husband, Josh Kessler, and her daughters, Kirsten and Kendall, and also her son, Cole. Please come up and join this family. The neat part is I get to stop now, right, and let Mayor Helfrich give the oath so I can catch myself back up here. Do we need that paperwork? Right there. I think this one's Martin's. Same?
It's all the
good?
same.
Okay, cool. So, Mayor Helfrich, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I do want to share one thing. Besides all of the amazing skill sets that all these individuals bring, they're also adding another 5% to our force level. So we will have the largest force since in quite a long time now on the streets of York, protecting our citizens, our businesses, and our property. So I want to thank you all, and again, thank the families for sharing them with us to make sure that we are as safe as possible here in the city. At this time, let's make it official. If so many, I don't even know which direction to look. Usually they're all right in front of me. Maybe I'll have you look at my back. Let's do it this way. All right, could you all please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, please state your name.
I,
Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth. I will obey, uphold, and enforce the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the ordinances of the City of York. I will do this without consideration to a person's race, color, or sex, religious creed or sexual orientation, age, national origin, or ancestry, handicap, or disability, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Thank you and congratulations.
We're going to have them sit and call Mark now.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the York City Police Department. If you all will temporarily take a seat for me, we will we're going to take care of something else, and then we will bring you back up to finish off some housekeeping things, which will also provide everybody an opportunity to get pictures, particularly the picture of them getting their badge. So if you want to momentarily have a seat, we'll bring you back in a second, I promise. Over that same career and that same road, that same path I was talking about with Andy Baez and with my dad, being second generation and having the opportunity to come back and work with these individuals, life took me on an interesting detour that I wouldn't have expected in the schools. And being able to lead the department, or create a department in the schools, and then go on to lead it for several years. In the course of that time, well, 13 years to be specific, I had the opportunity to work with a lot of school resource officers that were deployed from the York City Police Department. And by the time it was all said and done, one of my favorite ended up being the individual that we're going to be talking about today. And while I never thought I never foreseen like having the opportunity and getting the call from Mayor Helford to come back here in this capacity, I left the school district to come back here to be part of this team once again. And being in a position now to promote an individual that I got an opportunity to watch mature and grow in such a close proximity just fills my heart so much. And Chris Martin, I want to say to you in front of people again that I remember the first day that you joined us in the school district, and I remember the stoic figure that you presented. And for years thereafter, I am glad that I had the opportunity to watch you, work with you, be around you, and be part of your journey. I'm glad I got to watch you in the ups. I'm glad I got to watch you in the downs. I'm glad I got to see each and everything that you overcame, went through, and all the effort that you put into not just being a good professional, but being a good man. And it's with great pride that I have the opportunity to call you up today to be promoted, because the things that you learned, the experiences that you had, and the person that you've become along the way is absolutely something that we want to be an influence to the next generation of officers here in the capacity of being a supervisor. I appreciate you. The kids of the school district of the city of York appreciate you. And I am proud to be able to say, Officer Chris Martin, come up and receive your promotion. Officer Martin is being promoted to sergeant, and he will be joined today by his mother and his daughters, who will pin him.
We'll be quick. He's done this before. Sir, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Christopher Martin, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth. I will obey, uphold, and enforce the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the ordinances of the City of York. I will do this without consideration to a person's race, color, or sex, religious creed or sexual orientation, age, national origin or ancestry, handicap or disability, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations, sir. Oh, here, you want to do it with the backdrop? You've been provided a lovely backdrop.
It's okay if you stab him.
I got orders not to.
Yes. Lance, you want to come up and let's get the Raven back up, bring the dozen back up.
How are you going to do the photos? I just need to get their signatures at some point.
Okay, so you want to do the photos first and then have them. Okay. Can I have my dozen? My dozen. Wow. Could I have you all come back up? Mary, you got to get in there. We're gonna take a few photos here and stuff.
All right, I'm good.
Oh,
Oh, no.
okay. Lance, you want to line them all up so we can file back in? cover down.
You know, if the commissioner's speaking, you got to add a half an hour to your schedule. Because he goes off track.
Are we ready? Come on over. Come on over. Yeah, we're just gonna all.
All right, wait.
Yeah, we're gonna all squeeze in here.
Let's get rid of the junk. I'm sorry, the very, very lovely equipment provided to us. There we go. Good?
Yeah.
All right, come on in. Why are you on the end?
Are we squeezing?
Come on.
And you guys can feel free to, if anybody wants a picture, you feel free to get up, jump up, move in closer. This is the one. Like, this is the shot. Why don't you make sure you get it for us? You end up kind of just looking general. Like, you just glaze yourself over, look out in general, and just, yeah. Good? Okay, now before everybody leaves, Mom. Alright, we're good. Okay, so before everybody leaves, you guys are going to cover down here. So you come a little closer, squeeze in. I'm hard, you know, I was your kind getting into position right, getting the selfie right. That's a large group, so I want to make that out of it. Come on, I'm almost there, almost there. There it is. The next one that I'm going to again, congratulations, you all. The next generation of the New York City Police Department.